Good morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the number one spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. Hope y'all had a great Tuesday. We got a beautiful Wednesday rundown. Of course, we're going to start off finishing off our breakdown of the San Francisco 49ers eking out a win against the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to touch in on the Dallas Cowboys. Is Dak Prescott overpaid as the 9th highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Is Brock Purdy locked in as the starter for my San Francisco 49ers next year? Then we're going to move forward to the other championship round game of the Bengals at the Chiefs. Break that game down and what am I expecting from that game. And before we end it off, we're going to speak on NBA on ESPN tonight of the Brooklyn Nets at the Philadelphia 76ers and the Memphis Grizzlies at the Golden State Warriors. Let's get right into it, gang. So let's start it off going back to Dallas and breaking down, is Dak Prescott overpaid for his salary in the NFL right now, being the 9th highest paid quarterback in the NFL? To me, I got to say, I don't want to like counting people's pockets or nothing like that, but when you go out there and when you're signed as the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, when you initially sign your contract extension, you got to break down, is he good enough to deserve that? Because when you get highest paid quarterback in the NFL type money, you better resemble being the best quarterback in the NFL. And that means winning games. So to me, I'm looking at it and I think Dak Prescott is a little bit overpaid simply because he was the number one highest paid quarterback in the NFL when he signed his contract. If you don't think that your quarterback can be the best quarterback in the NFL, then you don't pay him that way. The New York Giants, they want Danny Dimes back, but they're not going to give him top quarterback money because they know he's not a top quarterback. He hasn't shown that yet. Now, Dak Prescott has shown more than Danny Dimes has shown during that time, but he still hasn't shown what Lamar Jackson has shown. He hasn't shown what Joe Burrow has shown, what Justin Herbert has shown, what Josh Allen has shown. We haven't seen him overcome the shortcomings of the team to uplift them. We've seen him ride the wave when the team is doing well. Yes, we've seen it. You know what I'm saying? They out there dominating, they balling, he riding, he with them. He can keep it going. He ain't going to mess it up. You feel what I'm saying? But when you're getting paid to be the 9th highest paid quarterback, and when you signed your contract, you were the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, you don't get paid to just ride the wave. That's what I was upset about with Jimmy Garoppolo, getting paid $24-25 million, but you need the perfect circumstance just to get a W. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not what we're going to do. So you look at it, and his base salary this year was $20 million. That's not that high. He's going to be making, I think, about $40 million average to finish off his contract. He only has 1 year left. But when you think about you paid him to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. It's been 3 years. You've got zero playoff. You got one playoff win, and that was against the worst team in the playoffs at that time. So I got to say that Dak Prescott is overpaid in Dallas because he has to be almost like a Tom Brady type. And that's not even to say that he's Tom Brady, but take the lesser money so that the team has more money to surround you with talent. The talent that you need to be successful. You're not a Tom Brady. I mean, you're not a Peyton Manning. You feel what I'm saying? Tom Brady was like, hey, listen, I know I ain't about to be out there making everybody, listen, put that money on the offense, put that money on the defense. Make sure y'all put that money out there. You feel what I'm saying? Surround me with talent. You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's the mentality that Dak Prescott has to have moving forward, especially for his next contract coming up, because he's going to get an extension, but he's not going to get no Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen type of extension. You get what I'm saying? He's going to get, you're a good quarterback, but you need a lot of help around you, and we have to pay that help. So, yeah, I think he should keep an open mind to taking less money next time around for the next contract. Let's move forward. Let's move over to San Francisco. Is Brock Purdy the starter moving into next year? To me, I'm looking at this and a lot of people, he locked up the starting job for next year over Trey Lance. No, he hasn't. I'm going to say no, he hasn't, because you still see room for this offense to grow, especially in the way that Kyle wants it to grow, and that's with running the ball. If you add Trey Lance in there, that's another element of the quarterback run. And what's really taking over the NFL right now? Do you think that Brock Purdy is a Joe Burrow or a Patrick Mahomes? Other than that, the other quarterbacks that are dominating the game are dual threat quarterbacks. You don't think that Brock, he dang sure ain't Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". You feel what I'm saying? With a cannon for an arm. So we need to stop sitting up here looking at him and stop forgetting that he's Mr. Irrelevant. Yes, he's coming back to be our backup. Yes, he may even come into the offseason with the open competition against Trey Lance. But is he coming in and Kyle Shanahan is saying, hey, Trey, sit in the back after 3 games? after we invested multiple first-round picks to get Trey Lance. No, we drafted Trey Lance to be a force multiplier. You get what I'm saying? I'm watching that Dallas game Sunday, and I'm thinking Trey Lance will be able to open up the run game when we couldn't run the ball in the first half because of his ability. You get what I'm saying? You'll just go Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You feel what I'm saying? Run the quarterback. But you can't do that with Brock Purdy because he's smaller and he's not as fast or as athletic. So to me, I love what Brock Purdy is doing, but he's Nick Foles right now. He's going out there, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's playing a lot better than Nick Foles. He's a lot younger. But it's also like, are you going to move off of Trey Lance, who was a top prospect 2021 draft, and just forget about like what we thought we had with Trey Lance? No, I don't see that. I see Brock Purdy coming in. He's probably going to have an open quarterback competition, and I think Trey Lance is probably going to end up winning that open quarterback competition. I think that Kyle Shanahan wants to see what's the peak of this offense with a quarterback that's mobile, that can get the ball out, and with a big arm. Brock Purdy is mobile. He can get the ball out, but he doesn't have nearly the arm that Trey Lance has, and he's not nearly as mobile as Trey Lance is. So I want to see what the offense is going to look like. I think Kyle Shanahan wants to see what the offense look like with Trey Lance under center and getting games under his belt. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle and John say they moving with Brock Purdy. Listen, they the ones that built this team around him of Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell and Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Ajiz Al-Shir, Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga, Jimmy Ward, Tavares Ward. They built this stacked roster. So I'm going to believe or have faith in anything in the decisions that Kyle and John make. But I do think that they're going to probably keep it at most an open competition for Brock Purdy. But I'm leaning towards Trey Lance still being the starter next year just because he's the guy. We drafted him to be the guy. Brock Purdy's doing what he's supposed to do as the backup. Continue, don't mess it up. He's going to be the reason that we don't bring Jimmy Garoppolo back for anything. You get what I'm saying? We're just going to keep Brock Purdy, and that's going to help us pay Nick Bosa to be the top paid defensive player in the league next year. Let's move on. I want to touch on the Bengals at Chiefs game. How is Patrick Mahomes' ankle heading into this game? I feel like that's the biggest storyline heading into this game. We know that the Bengals have won the last 3 meetings against the Kansas City Chiefs in the last 365 days, including one win in Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. So we're right back in that same situation. You got Patrick Mahomes out there, probably at best will be at 75-80% on that high ankle sprain. To me, it's going to be very interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes is how mobile he'll be, because I think that the Cincinnati Bengals will be sitting in the house. They will be testing his mobility and seeing how he'll be able to defend himself as far as escaping away from the pocket and escaping from pressure. So listen, I'm looking at the Bengals right now. They have a psychological edge over the Kansas City Chiefs winning the last 3 games. Patrick Mahomes' ankle injury, I'm not making a prediction just yet. I'm gonna save all my predictions for Friday. But yeah, that's the number one storyline to me, is how is Patrick Mahomes' ankle going to heal up enough for that Sunday game? And then the Bengals having that psychological edge is stacking up against the Kansas City Chiefs right now. It's stacking up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's move on to the NBA before we end off episode 95 of MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. NBA on ESPN. We got the Brooklyn Nets at the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. What am I seeing from this game? Sixers won 5 in a row. Nets won back-to-back games. But the Sixers need this dub more than the Brooklyn Nets do, simply because there's no Kevin Durant. We know what the Brooklyn Nets are with Kevin Durant and what they did to the Philadelphia 76ers when they acquired Ben Simmons last year and came to Philadelphia. They destroyed them. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant just utterly went out there and was skill and drill all 48 minutes on the Philadelphia 76ers, running away with it. So the Philadelphia 76ers had to return the favor this game. They cannot go out there and lose to the Brooklyn Nets without Kevin Durant. With TJ Warren and Seth Curry, I know that Kyrie has been snapping. He had an amazing weekend, but you cannot lose as James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris to just basically Kyrie Irving. You cannot do that. You can't drop that game and then knowing that Kevin Durant is gearing up to come back. You can't and confidently think that you'll be able to beat them in a 7-game series moving as we're getting geared up towards the playoffs. Well, not even getting geared up towards the playoffs, but knowing that there'll be 2 top contenders in the Eastern Conference. You'll probably have to go through the Brooklyn Nets. So that's not going to bode well for the Philadelphia 76ers if they go out there and lose a game to the Brooklyn Nets without Kevin Durant, without their best player. And y'all got Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden playing like the old James Harden out there. They need this dub. I'm going to go with the Philadelphia 76ers in this game in Philadelphia. I'm going to say 115-108 Philadelphia 76ers over the Brooklyn Nets. We got the nightcap of the Memphis Grizzlies at the Golden State Warriors. Memphis lost the last 3 games. The Warriors lost 3 of the last 5 games. Both need this win. The Warriors won the first game, dominating the Memphis Grizzlies in Golden State. So I'm going to still lean towards the Dubs just because the Dubs got to keep this home record going. They got to keep this home streak going because they haven't gotten their road, that road warrior in them going just yet. You feel what I'm saying? To use all puns, but they still haven't gotten that road traction yet to start getting some road wins. So the Warriors need this one to keep pacing that Western Conference. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors in this one, 111-107 over the Memphis Grizzlies. Let me know what y'all think though. Is Dak Prescott overpaid as the 9th highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Is Brock Purdy locked in to be the starter for my San Francisco 49ers next year? What is the breakdown and what are y'all expecting from the Bengals at Chiefs game this Sunday? And then NBA on ESPN, what are y'all expecting from the Brooklyn Nets at the Philadelphia 76ers and the Memphis Grizzlies at the Golden State Warriors? MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.